Do you ever feel like a walk-in contradiction? One day you're completely obsessed with learning Python. The next you're deep diving into the history of the Byzantine Empire. And by the weekend you're trying to master a new song on the guitar. Your friends seem to have it all figured out. They're on a straight path to becoming a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer. But you feel lost, scattered, and maybe even a little bit flaky. What if I told you that this feeling of being pulled in a dozen different directions is not a weakness, but your greatest strength? What if the very thing you think is holding you back is actually the key to building an incredibly successful and future-proof career? Today, we're going to talk about why you shouldn't search for your one true calling, and how to instead become something far more powerful. An M-shaped professional. For the longest time, the career advice was simple. Become an I-shaped specialist. Pick one thing, just one, and drill down as deep as you can. Become the world's foremost expert on 17th century pottery or a master of a single, specific coding language. You're the go-to person for one particular problem. This model worked well for a stable, predictable world. But as things got more complex, we saw the rise of the T-shaped professional. The idea here is that you still have that deep, specialized knowledge that's the vertical bar of the T. But you also have a broad, horizontal bar of general knowledge across many different areas. This allows you to collaborate better with people from other departments and understand the bigger picture. You're not just the coder. You're a coder who understands marketing, sales, and user experience. This was a huge step forward, but the world is changing faster than ever. And now, even the T-shaped model is starting to show its limits. The most valuable, most innovative, and most resilient professionals of the future won't be I-shaped, or even T-shaped. They will be M-shaped. So what on earth is an M-shaped professional? Imagine the letter M. Instead of one deep pillar of expertise, you have two, or even three. These are distinct fields where you have developed significant, practical skill, not just surface-level knowledge. And connecting these pillars is that same foundational layer of broad knowledge. The top lines of the M. An M-shaped person isn't a jack of all trades, master of none. They are a master of asterisk, several asterisk. This is the person who is a skilled data scientist, but also an expert in psychology and user experience design. They don't just analyze the numbers. They understand the human behavior behind them and can design products that people genuinely love. This is the person who understands both software engineering and corporate finance, allowing them to build tech solutions that are not just elegant, but also profitable and strategically sound. They can see connections that specialists miss and solve complex, multi-layered problems by drawing from their unique combination of skills. In a world where industries are constantly colliding and new challenges require interdisciplinary solutions, the M-shaped individual isn't just surviving. They are thriving. They are the innovators, the problem solvers, and the leaders. And if you're someone with a dozen different interests, you are perfectly positioned to become one. The big question, of course, is how. How do you go from feeling scattered and overwhelmed to intentionally building your M? It can seem daunting to master 3 different fields. The key is to realize it doesn't happen all at once. The first strategy is what I call the deep dive method. This is a sprint and graduate approach. Instead of trying to learn a little bit of everything at the same time, you consciously choose one of your interests and commit to a focused deep dive. Give yourself a dedicated period, say 6 months to a year, where that one skill is your top priority. Your goal isn't to become the #1 expert in the world. Your goal is to master the core 80% of TAT skill to get to a point where you are genuinely proficient and can create real value with it. Read the essential books, take the best courses, work on practical projects, and get your hands dirty. Then, and this is the crucial part, you graduate, you make a conscious decision to shift your focus. You don't abandon the skill you just learned. It's now a permanent pillar in your M-shaped structure. But your primary learning focus now pivots to the next interest on your list. You start a new deep dive sprint. Over a few years, by repeating this cycle, you can build 2 or 3 incredibly strong pillars of expertise. It's not about dabbling. It's about sequential mastery. Now, building your pillars is one thing, but for your M to be truly powerful, those pillars need to be connected. They can't just be a random collection of skills. This brings us to the second strategy. Finding your connecting thread. While you're pursuing your different interests, you need to constantly ask yourself, what's the underlying theme here? What is the bigger why that ties these seemingly unrelated passions together? This is your unique value proposition. For example, let's say you're passionate about graphic design, environmental science, and marketing. On the surface, those look completely different. But as you dig deeper, you might realize that what truly drives you is the desire to help people make better choices for the planet. Suddenly, you've found your connecting thread. Your niche isn't just design, or science, or marketing. It's sustainable branding. You can use your design skills to create compelling visuals for eco-friendly products, your science knowledge to ensure the claims are accurate and meaningful, and your marketing expertise to get that message out to the world. You're no longer just a designer who knows some science. You're a specialist in communicating sustainability. Take some time to journal and reflect. Look at all your interests, past and present. What problems do you want to solve? What impact do you want to have on the world? The answer to those questions is the thread that will weave your skills together into a coherent and powerful career identity. So if you were rewatching this and you've spent years feeling anxious because you unpicked just one thing, I want you to hear this loud and clear. Your curiosity is not a liability. It is your superpower. The world no longer rewards the person who spends 40 years doing one thing in one way. It rewards adaptability, creativity, and the ability to connect disparate ideas. It rewards the people who can see the world through multiple lenses are the ones who will lead us into the future. Stop apologizing for your wide-ranging interests. Stop feeling guilty for starting a new hobby. Instead, start being intentional. See each new passion as a potential pillar. See your curiosity as the engine of your growth. Stop searching for the one right path. Start building your own. You have a unique combination of interests and talents that nobody else on this planet possesses. Embrace it, build on it, and show the world what you're made of. Thanks for watching. And if this resonated with you, make sure to subscribe for more ways to build a career you truly love.